Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Gus.
We got some new details about a pair of high-profile games coming from mega publisher EA, so that's very exciting. We also have a launch month for one of them.
Ooh, yes, indeed. Thanks to the magic of earnings reports, the publisher shed a little more light on two of its biggest upcoming releases, the latest Battlefield game and the multiplayer sci-fi IP from BioWare, Anthem.
It would be nice if they would announce this stuff to us occasionally, but we get a lot of information out of earnings reports.
Yeah, thanks, I guess.
It's been no secret that EA has gone through a bit of a rough patch this last year with all the controversies over microtransactions in games like Star Wars Battlefront 2, but all that apparently didn't affect EA's bottom line one bit, or at least not negatively, as they reported healthy profits for the year.
Capital. Meanwhile, EA also seems like it's trying to turn the page on a rough year, at least in the PR department, by focusing on what's coming next.
So let's dig into that earnings call first and give you some background on what happened.
First off, the money.
Lots of it.
Lots of money. And like we said, even though gamers were super pissed at EA last year for all the microtransactions in Battlefront 2 and other games, that didn't stop them from raking in boatloads of cash.
Yeah, the company made $1.25 billion in revenue for the fourth quarter alone. Yeah, which beat Wall Street expectations and raised EA's stock price as a result. And about 68% of that total came from digital, which gives you some idea how profitable microtransactions are for the company. Not that digital is just microtransactions, it's also any digital copies you're buying off of Origin or whatever, but that's still, yeah, definitely, you're all using Origin, right? But that's still definitely a huge proportion of their revenue coming from digital stuff.
Okay, so now let's get to the game, starting with Battlefield. It's been widely reported that EA is releasing the next installment of the popular war franchise in the third quarter of this year.
EA hasn't announced the setting yet for the new Battlefield. Rumor is it's going to take place in World War II, and that its campaign is going to be structured pretty similar to Battlefield 1's with a variety of different perspectives, like smaller vignettes. What's a vignette?
Vignette.
Terrible with words that I only ever learned in text.
Well, it makes sense. World War II was the sequel to World War I, so it's a logical next progression.
Right. I mean, really, it would be disrespectful to just jump around.
And while they say they're going to talk more about their upcoming games at E3, EA officials did give a few high-level details about the upcoming Battlefield game, saying that it'll feature a new unique mode and it will contain multiple maps and modes for multiplayer along with a single-player campaign. Stop the presses! Multiple maps and multiplayer and single-player? What a scoop!
What do you want to bet the unique new mode is? Battle Royale. CEO Andrew Wilson said, with our next Battlefield game, the team at DICE is bringing the intensity of combat to life in new and unexpected ways. Every battle is unique, and every mode brings its own challenges, from the way you interact with the environment around you, to compelling single-player stories, to the next level of large-scale multiplayer that spans across multiple maps and modes.
He added, this will be a deep and fully featured shooter and ongoing service that will evolve with major new experiences for our community, beginning right from launch. This new game will advance the state of the art for the franchise while still delivering the signature gameplay and Battlefield moments that have captivated and grown our global community.
Now, Wilson didn't specify what the unique mode is going to be. The Battle Royale is our theory. I mean, it's not that surprising. It has been rumored that developer DICE has been prototyping just such a feature. And they are one of the games that features a higher player count just across the board, so adjusting that upwards would be probably easier for them than a lot of other developers.
It's easy, you just change a variable.
Right, just go into the engine, like change a number somewhere, and bam,
boom, 100
players.
As for multiplayer, Wilson would only say all the things Battlefield fans expect out of a multiplayer game from DICE in the Battlefield universe will be there. Additional innovations in how we're thinking on the future of multiplayer in first-person shooters will be there at launch and over time as part of a live service.
So that's about it for Battlefield. Not a ton of huge surprises just yet. We'll see what E3 has in store. But let's get to Anthem, which is shaping up to be probably kind of a make-or-break game for developer BioWare after, well, Mass Effect Andromeda flopped kind of badly.
Yeah, EA CFO Blake Jorgensen said that Anthem will launch during the last month of EA's fiscal year, which means March 2019.
Yeah.
That's pretty soon.
That is feeling soon for them. The new sci-fi IP from BioWare is going to be a shared open-world game, so think something like Destiny, The Division. Gamers will play as freelancers who explore the harsh environment beyond a massive wall that's protecting civilization.
Over under, I mean, they're pushing that, right? I mean, they're delaying. There's no way. We haven't even seen the game yet.
I will imagine we'll get a really big gameplay reveal at E3 this year. Last year they showed gameplay, but that was very clearly vertical slice. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of that this year, and we'll be able to judge a little bit more clearly, is this getting delayed or not? But it seems like they're trying to slip it into the end of the fiscal to make their numbers.
Yeah, either holiday 2019 or early 2020. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, well, we'll see if EA says something like, we'd be happy to give it 5 more months if it needed it, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then
Andromeda happens.
Yeah.
Wilson said that Anthem will feature constantly evolving gameplay, and he called it a fantastic social experience that will be designed around player input. To that end, he said the community will be allowed to play the game early so that BioWare can shape and refine the game with their input and feedback, so it sounds like we'll be getting some kind of beta.
He added, every dimension of Anthem will offer something entirely new for a wide audience of players, from a new universe with unique stories that BioWare is creating, to the cooperative gameplay, to the epic and beautiful environment that constantly evolves around players.
So yeah, it definitely sounds like they have ambitious plans for Anthem, and like we said, it definitely needs to be a home run for BioWare, which has reportedly been pulling resources from all of its studios to help finish up the game.
Interestingly, Jorgensen also said they're being conservative in forecasting how well Anthem's going to sell, stressing the fact that it's a new IP. But he added the game is extremely unique and players are going to really enjoy playing it.
Well,
also probably good to be conservative.
Right.
A lot of people not having a lot of trust in either EA or BioWare right now, so yeah, maybe pull those numbers back. Better to be positively surprised.
If you set the bar low, of course you'll succeed. EA execs also talked about the future of competitive gaming, which is definitely a big space for the company, given that it owns franchises like Battlefield, Madden, and FIFA. They also discussed the popularity of Battle Royale games like Fortnite.
Wilson said EA is going to keep doubling down on esports, and they feel like the current Battle Royale craze is going to help drive audiences to their own games. Somehow.
Well, I wonder how. Meanwhile, Jorgensen told analysts, we welcome games like Fortnite and PUBG. We don't think one game will capture 100% of the market. It just doesn't happen that way. We think in a case of Fortnite, it has grown the whole marketplace.
As for other EA games, the publisher said the co-op Prison Break game A Way Out has had close to 2 million players at the end of the quarter, making it a nice little success for the company. Good one for the developers. It's, indie studio, the guys who made Brothers, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great game. As for its games and number of players overall, the company said that it expects the install base of players on both PS4 and Xbox One to reach 130 million by the end of 2018 and expects Switch players to number more than 30 million by year's end.
Now, there's an interesting little thing about that. So, just very quickly, maybe we'll break this down more on Glitch Please, but that tricky little number kind of reveals where Xbox One sales
That's what I was thinking about. Is that like 100 to 30? What are we looking at?
Right, so if we look at where it was end of 2017, EA said it was 103 million, something like that, and we know based on numbers that PlayStation has published that they're 79 million, so we're talking about 30 million for Xbox One. They haven't published numbers in years, but that gives us some idea how the consoles are selling against each other. Again, that's a third-party data point. It is implied, not explicit, but kind of curious.
Yeah, just connect the dots.
Anyway, so like them or hate them, EA is a huge player in the gaming space. We're going to have some really big games at E3 this year. We'll be learning more about them both then. Hopefully we'll have them on our stream as well. So if you are looking out to learn more about both of those games, keep an eye right here because we're going to do that E3.
Fun. So that's about all we know. That sounded sarcastic. It's really fun. I'm
is,
really excited. That's not like a cool.
It's the kind of thing that's I'm in the middle of crunch right now. I'm having dreams about E3 planning. Talks calls with every publisher, and it's crazy. But also, it's really exciting. We have a great time when we're there.
So that's about all we know at this point. What do you guys think of EA's comments on all of its upcoming games? What are you excited to play? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your EA and gaming news and all that E3 stuff as well, make sure you like this video. And if you are new here and you want to make sure you get all of that coverage when we get all the big information about the games in just a month, subscribe to the know.
FIFA Battle Royale. That's what I want.
God.
FIFA Battle Royale, oh my god.
There's 100 soccer players on the field all at once.
Trying to score 1 goal.
That's it.
But all that recently apparently didn't affect all that recently to say?
You said recently. It's not in there.
Wow, okay, I was going to say, I was like, that doesn't seem like the right word.